this. All right. Oh, these brakes need to be done. Good morning, y'all. I don't know why y'all taking a long time to come on, but I guess I'll talk until I get to work. Maybe doing live stream this time of the morning is not a great option, so I'm gonna see who's gonna be on. Somebody will probably jump on. Now look at this fool driving up like he going somewhere. Yeah, slow the fuck down. So anywho, I'll wait for a few minutes before I start. I would think somebody would be on. Well, good morning. I was about to say who's gonna be on with me this morning while I'm on my way to work. So I took off a couple of days from the whip. That's what I'll call it. I was just getting, I needed a couple of days off. No apparent reason, but just the fact that I'm getting tired of this company. But I know I should be grateful that I have a job because some people wish they were able to have a job. But at the same time, there's only so much that one could take. And two, sometimes you need to take your time off to reflect, you know. And I do that at times. I can work at a company, and when it starts to be weary and gets to the point where you're like, say, fuck it, I'm staying home, been watching television shows, it's time to move on. And I know at this point, it's time for me to move on from that company. I know they made some changes, especially in management, and the way how this particular guy is, he ain't playing. Now, I wasn't there Monday when they had the client come over, and of course, all of a sudden they want to, oh, we're gonna be taking away the whiteboard. So I tell you, it's a paper and penless environment. You know, you can't have no such items now. They want to turn around and try to take away these um, whiteboards that they have. Now they didn't give everybody one, but that's what they do. They have things on a whiteboard. So now all of a sudden, Monday, well Friday before I left work, the team leader whose last day was Friday, she was like, "Oh, they're gonna be taking away the whiteboards when the client comes and this and that," basically hiding it. And I was like, you know what? I said, this is ridiculous. they speak about ethics and doing things correctly when no one's watching, and then the company as a whole turns around and try to get rid of items around the office that doesn't reflect badly, hiding signs about the bed bugs. They take them down. They take away anything dealing with um, the complaints and OSHA. They take those stuff down when clients come. Now, to me, that's kind of dumb. Of course, you want to make a good impression. If that's what you want to think is a good impression. But I don't know. And then I'm going to work, and I don't know who's going to be the new team leader, what team I will be on. But supposedly I'll be going back to that person who I was with when I first started, and she's just as drama and negative. So I was like, ugh. But who knows? But anywho, that's not going to be my story for today. My topic today is going to talk about my update. So I'm still doing Deliv. I've done Deliv Sunday, which I didn't have any orders, so I got paid half of my time for being unavailable. I worked all of last week, in which Saturday I worked. It wasn't that long of a. What happened to everybody else? Y'all just dropped off like that? I worked basically about 19 hours last week with the live. They only allot you 20 hours, so I did 20 hours, but I didn't actually work the full 20. Because I pretty much finished my task. It'll take me the whole time to complete it. So I made about 190. What I made last week? 190, 197, 198, something like that. Now you ain't had to right away. So that's what I made. But like I said, I didn't have any orders on Sunday, and Saturday was like about 3 deliveries, 3 customers or something like that. And I know it was another time. Oh yeah, and the one other time I didn't have any deliveries either. It was like a Thursday. I think it was like 3 hours. So pretty much, when it's not busy, and say you have like a one day where you're doing deliveries, say I may have like four people to do, and I'm driving some deliveries, you get about 190, which still pans out pretty well when I break it down. So what's the other thing? Yeah, the temp agency that I was working with that second job that I was telling y'all about, um, I was doing, they called me yesterday and asked me if I was available for another assignment that starts the first week or the second week in September, and it's supposed to last until March of next year. It was in a call center. They didn't tell me what the company it was, but it was in Alpharetta. So they told me if I was interested. So they got my social security number and asked me, they said this company does like a background check, of course, and they'll submit my resume for review. And so I should be hearing something back from them sometime this week when they get the details. They didn't seem really sure about the whole entire assignment. I just think they are pitching for this assignment. and trying to get the contract. So they just want to submit people to them to review. Because how these temp agencies work is that they basically will scout or whatever it is they do to get people to sign up for, to hire their temp. So it will be in their best interest that they place you in companies at temp agencies. And a lot of these jobs, I'm starting to realize, a lot of these temp agencies are starting to grab the attention of some of these companies that's going to a temp, and they pay so much money to the agency, and the person who recruits you, they get paid that way. That's the only way how they're going to get paid. So I should be hearing something back with them within the next couple of days. All right, all that affinity. Anyhow, I did interview I went to open house last week Saturday, at this automotive group, and they're expanding their. It's not really a call center. I should be hearing something back to them sometime this week. When I interviewed with the guy, he said I should probably hear something back like Friday. And basically what it is a call center sales type position where you get paid $12.50 an hour plus commissions for setting up appointments for the various different car dealerships across the country. They have about 80 something car dealerships across the country, and you'll be trained on a specific line of cars. Like, for instance, it could be BMW, it could be Toyota, it could be whomever, whatever. So I'm waiting on that. I'm not saying that I'm superly excited about working there, because I'm like, okay, it'll either be better than where I'm at, and I'm just ready to kind of move on personally, because one thing is that I'm not trying to be caught up in that major sweep that they claim they do every year. And maybe they do. If they do, they do. But working there, it seems like I'm losing money to some extent. Yeah, I'm not driving as much. And, it's a steady check, which most people would be grateful to get. But it's only so much you could take. It's only so much. And hopefully, oops, I got my light on. And hopefully, change will occur. It ain't so much maybe change will occur. But I noticed, but let me tell y'all, I know some people are really starting to feel it, because I started hearing these little chippy comments. This particular person, he's supposed to be the quality lead, and obviously when you're not doing your job and you're affecting other people's money, it's only so much people's going to take. It's only so much people's going to allow the foolishness to continue. Yeah, it was cute at first to sit around and things may be slow and you still getting paid. But it gets to the point where, wait a minute, the bulk of this job is consists of getting bonuses. And if you're not working and you're not able to meet the bonus, okay, y'all not just gonna sneak up on here and just ride the side of the corner and then think I'm gonna let you in. You know, I hate when people do that. If you wait just like everybody else waited to get in this lane, you don't just drive up. You know, you think you're gonna get in, but you're not. But anywho, see, the type of job that I do is all based on, it's like a production type of job, you could say. And you get paid extra $2 more per hour based on the work that we do. But if you're not getting any work, how do you expect to make the extra $2 and also possibly work overtime? Now, I haven't yet grasped the whole job thing because of poor training or lack of. And because of that, I'm not able to do overtime for now. But I'm going to decide to do some overtime maybe in the next week or a couple weeks or so, unless I hear back from these two jobs. Full bathroom pool. Oh. Anywho, unless I hear something back from any other job offers in the coming weeks, I'm just have to do what I gotta do, and I'm not gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna worry about it. You know, I'm gonna come to work. If they have nothing to do, then they have nothing to do. That's how I'm gonna look at it. If they give me 5 cases to do, and it takes me a minute to get to do the 5, then it takes a minute to do the 5. Other than that, I'm not gonna beg and plead nobody to help me because they don't. They have a guy there now. Like I was saying to y'all, he doesn't even. You know, you the quality lead. You're there to help, but you too busy focusing on um who's sitting in the break room waiting for work, and you sitting there yourself not even doing what you're supposed to do. But you're gonna try to write me up for a final warning. Like you think that is not going to affect you. Good morning, his purpose for me. So that's pretty much my week. My week has been going last week and this week. I do the live today, and I don't do the live again until next week because the schedule comes out on Tuesdays at 9:00 p.m. So, of course, last night I was there to wrap up my little allotted time of hours, which I managed to get. And hopefully, you know, like I said, it's starting to pick up some, but you only get so many hours with the live, and that's all right. And but that extra amount of money is pretty good. Now I don't know when I'm going to hit that 400 and something dollars again, because I was trying to look at what was so different between the other weeks Because you do make about you can make about 300 to somewhere around close to 400 a week with the lift if you've got a good availability. See, when I had the availability, when I wasn't working a regular job and I had my availability and I was available during the daytime, especially on a Monday, Tuesday, or any time during the week, I could probably get about 20 hours availability during the week, earlier in the day, and probably get deliveries the whole entire time. And make about 380 or 4. So I was like, that's why I was saying earlier, I think I'm losing money with this job, because to be honest, working a W-2, in my opinion, now if I'm making, $20-something an hour or whatever, I surely won't be worried about doing these gig jobs. But when you're making, say, $12 an hour, dealing with foolishness, and then having to pay for insurance, and it's like I'm not really making that much. I'm not. And then if I miss, these couple of days that I've missed for the pay period, I would have to somehow try to make those hours up by possibly working an extra couple of hours in overtime this week if they got it. But at the same time, you really can't you cannot make up time for days missed, so they say. But I'm going to have to really make a decision of what I want to do. Because I get from these two jobs, either one or the other. Even the other one with the automotive place, yeah, you make an appointment and you get, $40 for each appointment that you schedule. But, they truly didn't break it down as to how can you really make extra money. Because you're not selling cars. I mean, you're advising people on the phone about the different cars when they go online. And that's what you do. But I don't know what the other aspect of that job entails, because one, it was an open house and it seems pretty good. Now, the initial pay per hour could be a little bit better, but if the commission structure that they talked about is, I can't say good morning. If the commission is pretty good, then it may be worth my while. But if it's not, then that's a different story, because it has to be more than just making appointments and get $40. I'm like, if you sold a car, if you was a car salesperson, I'm quite sure their commission is going to be more than $40. So I don't know. I'm not going to mention the company's name and anything else, but who knows? And when I went to the open house last week, I also bumped into one of the other girls who worked with me at that second job, and she said, "You remember me?" Because she came up to me so quickly. She even with us, and I said, "Oh, okay." I knew who she was, but then they said they had told her that they let her go, and she was there for a long time. She used to work at the Whip, at the job I'm going to now. She used to work there, And she said the reason she left was the same reasons why most people leave, the foolishness. So she was looking for a job, and she said she had needed to find a job by the end of the week. By the end of the month, I told her about Uber and Grubhub and all these gig jobs. And I said, you can sign up. You find it in a couple of days, and you can make whatever the money you can make. So I told her that I was doing for 2 years when I was, in between jobs, I guess you could say. And I told her I did. I said, you can, if you treat it like a full-time job, 40, 45, 50 hours a week or whatever, you probably could make, some decent money. But I told her that's driving people. I said, now, when you do food deliveries, that might be a little, you may have to strategize with that. You may have to do more than one food app. You just can't do Uber Eats and think you're going to make $1,000 a week doing Uber Eats. You just can't. Even if you did Uber Eats with lunchtime, dinner time, and on the weekends, without that damn Quest and that damn boost, and they're waiting for my update for my profile picture, so I might be jumping back on with Uber Eats just to see if one could get on by signing up with another account. So I'll let y'all know about that in a couple of days. But other than that, I'm really not going to worry about it because Uber has not been paying much of anything, even during the summer. From 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock, it used to be 1.5. Now they want to go and pay 1.2. They used to have Quest. I ain't seen a Quest since my niece's graduation when I went to Texas. That's gone. I don't see promotions before they yanked my profile, which I still don't understand why I got zero rating. And they asking me over and over, and I keep submitting the same thing over and over again. I said, I gave you my insurance information. So, I don't know. Sometimes when you're dealing with these companies, with these technologies and stuff, you're not talking to a person. And going to that local office up in Claremont Road, they're a joke. Sometimes they don't even need to have those people over there in customer service because they got poor customer service skills. They suck. They're not helpful. And if you go there every so many months, you don't see the same people there. You see like a whole new crew. You see like a whole new crew of people easily. So I don't even know how they get into the office. I don't even know how they even got that job. I know one time, 2 years ago, they had posted that job. I remember I applied and I didn't get anything. I was like, sorry, we got somebody else. I'm like, really? But anywho, who cares? So, what's my topic? My topic was not about rambling on. So, it was about advantages of working a W-2. Now, all that stuff I was saying about this current job I'm doing, you would say, well, damn, you ain't say no advantages. You just complaining. I know some troll going to write that long-ass book, and I have not been checking my comments because I held my comments for review. So it's been a while since I've actually logged on and reviewed it. So if you've been saying positive things and saying hello and making comments on my page, on my videos, I thank you. But for all the trolls, I thank you too. But don't think I'm going to read it if it's something stupid. So, but anywho, so let me tell you about the advantages of working a W-2 when you're doing these gig jobs. from a tax perspective. When you say it like that, all the taxes that I've been paying when I've been working at this job, pretty much I'm getting back all of my withholdings. And let me tell you the reason why. Now, I've been keeping track of my miles from day one on the Stride app. So every time I do a job, when I was doing Uber Eats, when I do Deliv, so far, as of today, I'm at eight, almost at $8,000 worth of write-offs in mileage. That doesn't even include my itemization of actual expenses. For instance, if I started adding up all my gas receipts, my what else? I can't say brakes because I need to buy some brakes and oil changes and anything related to the car. Because you want to, like I said, I talk about my tax tips. I'm starting doing that again way earlier than waiting until next year to talk about it. Because see, a lot of people, they start jumping on that bandwagon when tax season comes again. All of a sudden, people want to make videos, and everybody else starts talking about it, and everybody starts scrambling for information on YouTube. With all the law, you need to start thinking about it now. So, the W-2 withholdings that I've been paying, plus the fact that I have a HSA account, which is a health savings account, reduces my taxes. All that money that I've been paying out in the taxes and withholdings is basically washed out. Now, because I know for a fact that by the time next year comes, by the end of the year, with all the mileage that I've been keeping track of, and that's just the miles, I know for a fact that all the money that I've been making with the Live is basically not going to be taxed. I don't have to worry about paying estimated taxes this year because I'm paying my taxes that you're supposed to pay quarterly. This HSA reduces your. Yep, it sure do. And thanks, Avon, for that beautiful resume rewrite that you did. I said, how she got this in one page? But it's pretty good. I only made a small change. I basically changed the beginning, and I just summarized the skill set. But anyway, I'm very satisfied with the resume. But anyway, yes, the health savings account reduces your tax because that part of the money that I got taken out to pay for my medical expenses and things like that, that's put on a credit card, that's not taxed. So it's more like it reduces it helps you reduce your income. So, all right, I want to hear your music too. So that helps a lot because the health savings account is really for those who may have high expenses in medical, or if you have dependents, most companies offer that type of account as well. And you can use your dependent care expense for I do believe child care expenses and things like that. So a lot of times people don't really realize the benefits that they get from their job. Some are great, some are good, some are okay. But a lot of people are like, that insurance is too high, that's too much money, But if you have child care expenses, um, medical expenses to pay that you pay out of your pocket, and I think a lot of people are focusing on how much money they make coming out of their check, but you shouldn't look at it like that. You know, especially if you, especially if you, oops, let me get this phone right. The sun is gleaming. See, especially if you, okay, I'm trying to set this phone. I need to buy me a car mount again. I bought about 4 car mounts this year. All right, this sun is not gonna, I just have to mind the sun a little bit. So, anywho, um, putting money into a 401k or thrift plan, that also defers your taxes, meaning that you putting money for retirement for future for your future, that reduces your taxes. Whatever little amount of money you put into that account. So it all depends on how much money you make. So working a W-2, other than you getting a regular paycheck, um, you know you you have some, you have an income or a paycheck coming in. Those benefits that you get as an employee, if you work for a good company that offers that, is good to that extent. Now you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, full time, I do these gigs full time because I don't have to worry about having a boss. I can control my own schedule. Um, um, I don't have to clock in and do a 9 to 5 and dealing with office politics and et cetera, et cetera." Okay, that's more like the non-financial reasons that people don't want to work a 9 to 5. Those are reasons that people say, but truly, is that the reason? Or the reason is you've been displaced as a worker from working a job and you lost your job or got fired or whatever the case may be. And you say, okay, this gig economy job gives you that flexibility, but do you really get the freedom? Are you really have your own? Do you really control your own schedule? Yeah, you control your own schedule. But if you know you working a food, these food delivery jobs, you are on schedule. Because if you don't work, you don't eat, you don't have no money, and you be homeless, or you got to live with somebody, or whatever the circumstances may be. So you really don't have that much flexibility because if you do food deliveries, you know that okay, you're gonna make most of your money during lunch from 11 to 2, 10 to 2, or whatever. If you do grocery shopping, you know, okay, most people do their grocery shopping Saturday, Sunday, or whatever. Or you're going to work in the evening time during dinner time and on the weekends. You really don't have a flexibility. You don't really have a flexible schedule. You have a choice to make money or not make money. But in terms of flexibility, it's not really flexible. It's not. And then in terms of you not having a boss, you do. Because a lot of these companies, especially the ones that have a block, okay, we got these blocks, we got these schedules. You are working on a schedule. You are working on a schedule because they offering the time frame that they offer to make the money, especially if you're doing Grubhub and they're paying you $10 or $10.50 or whatever the guarantee is in your market. You are an employee in a sense. They're not giving you a W-2. They give you a 1099, but you actually are an employee. And ain't that many companies I mean, when you think about it, Uber is the only company that allows you to turn on the app, turn off the app, and work when you want to work. But look what they're doing. Look what they're doing on the meantime. They don't need to. They don't need to put blocks and schedules out because they know they're making money off of you. If they don't have any drivers, phone all crooked. They know that if drivers are not turning on that app, making money, they ain't making no money. But they know that they have such a market share. They have so much logistics data. They don't care. They don't need to do a schedule. They don't need to implement blocks because the way their system works is it allows you to. They know um, there's a demand. They know there's a demand of people wanting to get a ride. These restaurants know the hours of operation, so it is limited. With Uber Eats and these food delivery apps, the availability is only contingent upon when a restaurant is opened. Restaurant closed, you close. Restaurant open, you open. If somebody orders food and they need someone to deliver, they'll check to see who's available to deliver it. But it's always going to be somebody on call, basically, to do that delivery. So you really don't have that flexibility as most people claim they have or claim they want. Because like with Deliv, they put that schedule out every Tuesday night, and they say, okay, we got 20 hours to give, and we need the coverage during these time of the day, on these particular days, because I don't know what the days are. I never had to do a delivery on a Saturday with Deliv. I think I did one delivery on a Saturday when I first started, and that was it. But in terms of my schedule being the same with Deliv, it may be always the same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll get those hours, and then if no one else picks up the other hours during the week, they know they have only so many people in each market. And when they know when they need more people, they put it out there. Okay, we got the list of people we need. So I have a schedule to abide to because you have rules. With Deliv, if you don't give them 24-hour notice or 48-hour notice or whatever it is, and you say, I want to cancel, I can't do it, you got to give them time, and you have to agree to the terms and conditions that I accept these hours to be available, and if I'm not available, you got to give them ample notice. By simply going back there, say I'm not available, but it has to be, you cannot cancel it within, you have to cancel within 24 hours, so they can put it out there for other people to pick it up. So working these jobs, a lot of these jobs, and I've done a lot of them, you are on a schedule. You are on their schedule more so than anything. So where is the flexibility? Like Amazon Flex. Yeah, you can turn on that app and then you be on demand. But shoot, I'm always far away from Smyrna that I'm never close by to get any hours with Amazon Flex. But I know that if I want to work with Amazon, I have to put myself in position to say, you know what, let me go ahead and hang around Smyrna today. And I know that 99% of the time, if I turn on that app, I'm going to get some blocks, especially if it's 5 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30. Ooh, you know, and that's any time of the day, weekdays. Weekends, I'm not so sure about because I never managed to get any blocks on weekends. But you don't really have working 1099 is good for part time, in my opinion. It did good for me when I was when I was when I needed to make full time money, but I wasn't that much of a hustler because I think that because I had money stashed away and I was living off my emergency funds that I had managed to save for 2 years of emergency funds. Ooh, somebody's selling a truck for sale. That's an old truck, an old F-50. Well, no. Anywho, so it has advantages and disadvantages. And working as an independent contractor, yeah, a lot of people say, oh, I get to write off all this stuff. I get to do this. I get to do that. No, I'm sorry. You don't really have, that's limited. Everything has a limit. You know, everything has a time frame of what they're going to allow you to do. You know, because let me tell you, if some of y'all don't already know, when you work as an independent contractor, you have 5 years to show some type of profit. You can't continue to write off negative every year on a Schedule C with the IRS. You just can't. They're not going to keep allowing you to do that. Now, let me tell you the reason. Let me tell you how. They limit it. Let me see what you said, Avon. I know you said so. Let me see. Yeah, it's the same. See, whether you do Avon, whether you drive Uber Eats, drive Uber, whether you do driving, gig jobs, Avon, selling Mary Kay or whatever, is all the same. It's money. It's the income you make. It's not where it comes from. So with Avon, if you sell Avon, see, you kind of put your, okay, people, you're just going to keep driving. Don't stop. You see that big ass garbage truck driving down like that? So, anywho, see, with Avon, when you're selling goods and services, on the Schedule C, it has a line where it says goods and services. Because if you buying products, you purchase, it's you put down the gross. So it's a little bit different, but it's still taxed the same way. You still could expense it the same way, put it that way. But what I'm saying is that from a standpoint when it's limited, see, you drive your car, right? And when I turn in my tax return in October, because I have a 6-month extension, and I didn't file my tax return for this year. I filed a 6-month extension, but I'm getting $300 back. So I think that's how much I actually paid in tax withholdings when I was working a W-2 last year when I worked at Amazon and a couple other places. So this car that I'm driving, for instance, this car has already been written off for the business usage, the depreciation. And most vehicles or cars, trucks, whatever, you have a depreciation, they figure it's like 5 years. Now, since I already wrote off the depreciation of this vehicle, when I file next year for the depreciation of this car, I'm not gonna. It's not. You can't just double dip. It's already been factored in. It's already been factored. You know, because they ask you. The first question they ask you is, when was this vehicle put into business use? So if you've been doing Uber for 3 years and you put down 3 years ago, it's already been factored in. It's not going to be as much. You're not going to get that deduction on your vehicle as much, because the biggest expense and the major expense when you're doing these gig jobs, when you're driving, is your car. And because it's your car, then and you've been using this car as a business expense, it's already been factored in. But if I sell this car or whatever, I still have to report the sale of the car, whether it be a loss or gain. It just depends. The car already depreciated. The car already depreciated when you wrote it off. So if you want to sell the car, you say, let me sell my car, and you gain $3,000. You didn't spend those $3,000 when you bought the car. But if you sold the car for $3,000, then you got to report that $3,000 that you gained, or whatever amount of money. But if you lost, you report the loss. You could sell anything at a loss or a gain, but you're still going to report it. It depends how you do it. So a lot of times people, they speak so generally about making YouTube videos, and they say things like, oh, I get to write up my gas, I get to write up the bags, I get to write up blah, blah, little miscellaneous stuff. But they don't talk about the big picture. The big picture. Depreciation. And what happens with a sale of a car? Leasing. See, a lot of people they skim over all of those important things. Paying your estimated tax. I know so fast, y'all, who've been talking about. I said, I already know. I know some people. I know about most of y'all. Okay, I wonder if they really know that they made $40,000+ and that they already paid $7,000 plus of taxes already. They make that $2,000 check that they supposed to pay quarterly. See, I already know it in my head. I've been doing it for so long. Oops, come on, people. I've been doing it for so long that people ask me, well, how do you know how much you're supposed to pay? And I keep telling people the simple answer is, what did you pay in taxes last year? What did it show on the tax on your return? If it says $3,000, $4,000, then you need to divide that by 4, and then if you have not made one nickel, if you have not paid one and penalties, because let me tell you how the IRS works. The IRS doesn't do anything this year. See, they tend to wait, not because they're trying to catch you. It's because they have a certain time frame. So the mistake that a lot of people, and I'm not talking about the ones who do it part-time. If you do it part-time and you only do it for like a couple of hours a week, or, you're not really making a whole lot of money, I'm speaking to those full time, die hard. I make $2,000 a week. Y'all, that's who I'm talking about. Y'all, the one who make these YouTube videos, and for those who got 5, 6, 10,000 subscribers, and you making money from on Google, because you know Google owns YouTube, and they send you a check. I hope you count that money too. I hope you count that money too. But they will come back, and they will send you something in a year, 2 years. So they know the IRS is known to do that. They just haven't caught up. So they got a whole bunch of other things on their plate. They just haven't caught up to that. And this gig economy thing is pretty much new. So with so millions and millions of people driving on the roads, they haven't yet caught up to that because they had a lot of budget. They had a lot of there are a lot of people who are retiring, and they have not yet finished modernization of the IRS with the tax system. See, they got other things, trying to implement the Obamacare, the Trump tax law changes. Let me tell you, that tax law changes that Trump does, I'm curious to see how it's really going to fare out. See, it looked good on paper. It looked real good on paper when they were talking about it, but I can assure you, every year, I see the IRS and the government, they go through their fifth year is October. That's when they do the other budget cuts. That's what's threatened about shutting down the government. September, that's when they do. That's when they finalize what the budget's going to be. See, they don't talk about it too much. You don't hear about that on the news too much because they all in foolishness. They're talking about a whole bunch of other stupid stuff. But you have to understand how the policies in Washington, they don't want to talk about that on the news because that's not sexy news. But in the meantime, behind closed doors or the news wire, they cut. They're making these changes. And I subscribe to the IRS news wire. I get it every day. Now, I have to catch up on my readings as well. I'm going to start resuming my channel again and what's going on in the world of business and how it affects the ride sharing gig, because it do affect us. It does. It affects us every day, and most of the time you're gonna be less unknowledgeable and not aware of what's gonna happen. So all I could say is this: if you're doing this and you make about $10,000 at the end of the year, you good to go. Because the first $10,000, I don't know why I can't talk. The first $10,000 is pretty much tax free, according to Trump tax plan. And anything beyond that, it may be good, it may be bad. It just all depends. But all I know is this: the way they keep track of all those statistics, and they look at the trend, and they say, okay, most people are not working. They're not working. They're doing a lot of these gig jobs. That's going to change. That's going to change because if the government cannot collect the taxes on that money that people make, they're going to change how you're able to do this. That is one thing that most people don't realize. You have to be aware of what goes on in policy making, and realize that what companies are allowed to do. Uber and Lyft and all these companies, if their bottom line sucks and they're not getting those breaks, because that's who's basically benefiting. It's going to benefit them before it ever benefits any of us that's making the money, because as long as they could get these these tax breaks and get all these corporate these breaks and stuff, but at the same time, they're going to continue to cut the rates and not pay and share in any of the I don't even know profits, because I don't think any of these companies makes a profit on paper. They're not making a profit, but somebody's making the money. But it sure ain't the independent contractor 1099. Sure ain't us. I know it ain't me, because I already drove $8,000 worth of mileage, and I know I didn't make no $8,000 plus already. So I'm already I'm starting off at zero according to my figures and numbers in my head for my money I've made. So you have to look at this as a business plan, not just saying, "Oops," not just making proclamation on YouTube. It's your own business. No, it ain't. It ain't your own business. But you could treat it and use that to an advantage. Okay, who got the cones? They still got visitors here. They got the orange cones laid out for 2 parking spots. They must have still got these visitors coming from UHC, or somebody came to visit. Oh well, y'all. Anywho, I'm already late, but it don't make no damn difference. At least I'm here, thank God. All right, y'all. I know I was rambling, but I think I might as well ramble while I'm driving when I get to work. So I'm at work. I'm here. Again, Ava, thank you for the resume, right? And good morning to all of y'all, if I didn't say good morning. All right, let me go. I'll talk to y'all later when I get off from work. I have to do the live today, but I don't know if I'm going to get any packages, so I may get some, I may not get some. If I do, that's good. Ugh. Oh, Lord. don't know why they backed up that way, in that direction. Oh, well. Okay. I'll talk to you later. What's with the cones? You got some visitors today or